भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवतिर्न इष्टिकी।
Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 Chapter 17 Verse 33
यस प्रभु।
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये।
ब्रह्मावते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञैर्
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा।
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये।
ब्रह्मावते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञैर्
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा।
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये।
ब्रह्मावते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञैर्
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा।
Yes, please.
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये।
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञैर्
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा।
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञा. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila by Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Synonyms. Na, not.
No, not.
Vartitavyam, deserve to remain.
Vartitavyam, deserve to remain.
Tat, therefore.
Tat, therefore.
Adharma, irreligiosity.
Adharma, irreligiosity.
Bandho, friend.
Bandho, friend.
Dharmena, with religion.
Dharmena, with religion.
Satyena, with truth.
Satyena, with truth.
Cha, also.
Cha, also.
Vartitavye, being situated in.
Vartitavya, being situated in.
Brahma Avarte, place where sacrifice is performed.
Brahma Avarte, place where sacrifice is performed.
Yatra, where.
Yatra, where.
Yajhanti, duly perform.
Yajanti, duly perform.
Yajnai, by sacrifices or devotional services.
Yajna, by sacrifices or devotional services.
Yajna Ishwaram, unto the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead.
Yajna Ishwaram, unto the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead.
Yajna, sacrifice.
Yajna, sacrifice.
Vithana, spreading.
Vitana, spreading.
Vigna, experts.
Vigna, experts.
Translation, please repeat after me. Therefore, O friend of religion,
Therefore, O friend of irreligion,
you do not deserve to remain in a place
you do not deserve to remain in a place
where experts perform sacrifices
where experts perform sacrifices
according to truth and religious principles
according to truth and religious principles
for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Purport.
Purport. Yageshwar, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies. Such sacrificial ceremonies are prescribed differently in the scriptures for different ages. In other words, sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all respects. The atheists do not believe in the existence of God and they do not perform any sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. Any place or country where the supremacy of the Lord is accepted and thus sacrifice is performed is called Brahmavarth. There are different countries in different parts of the world, and each and every country may have different types of sacrifice to please the Supreme Lord. But the central point in pleasing him is ascertained in the Bhagavatam, and it is truthfulness. The basic principle of religion is truthfulness, and the ultimate goal of all religions is to satisfy the Lord. In this age of Kali, the greatest common formula of sacrifice is the Sankirtan Yajna. That is the opinion of the experts who know how to propagate the process of yajna. Lord Chaitanya preached this method of yajna, and it is understood from this verse that the sacrificial method of Sankirtan Yajna may be performed anywhere and in order to drive away the personality of Kali and save human society from falling prey to the influence of the age.
Hari Om Tat Sat. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो आचार्यपादाय निधाय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामधाय नगरग्रामधारिणे नमो ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादे सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदनां मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलं गायते गिरिमत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् हरि ओम तत्सत्. Another very beautiful, see how Parikshit Maharaj is thorough in transcendental knowledge. He has a very clear understanding that any sacrifice of any age should be performed only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not for any kind of sense gratification, not any kind of achievement of material existence. This is very clearly understood by the king. Like that, the government officials, politicians, they must understand the purpose of yajna, sacrifice, is samsiddhir haritoshanam. Ultimately, it should be the satisfaction of Hari or Krishna. It should be performed and not for any other purpose at all. It is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. The yajna should not be not only yajna, any activity in the material world should be performed only for the satisfaction of Krishna, not for any personal sense gratification without Krishna. This should be the principle on which anybody is living. You can call such a person as a very Sanskriti, very religious person. And Kali cannot touch him. This is for sure. Very beautiful purport. Yagneshwara. Yagneshwara means Ishvara of Yajna, the controller of all the Yajnas. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So who is that Yagneshwara? That Yagneshwara is the Maheshwaram, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, the king, the emperor, the head of all, the proprietor of all the Sarva Loka, all the lokas. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is the Yagneshwara, he is the Maheshwara of all the living entities. He has very clearly told in Bhagavad Gita, and Bhoktarham Yajna Tapasam, all kind of yajnas and tapasya should be enjoyed by only Krishna. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So any yajna we perform, that should be to the satisfaction of Krishna. And amongst all the 12 months, Damodar month is very dear to Krishna because he himself is the Damodara. Similarly, amongst all the yajna, Japa yajna is most dear to Krishna because he himself is the Japa yajna. He has told in Bhagavad Gita very clearly all these very secrets that yajna nam Japa yajnosmi. So amongst all kind of yajnas, Japa yajna is myself. So that is why we say chanting the holy name of the Lord Hare Krishna Mahamantra is non-different from Krishna because he says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. So the japa chanting of the holy name is myself, he is telling. So he is non-different from his holy name. And in this particular Kali Yuga, it is not that only kings can perform yajna or government can perform yajna or some kind of rich people only can perform yajna. Not like that. In this Kali Yuga, Kalo Shudra Sambhava, there is no one is actually rich, there is no one is actually king. Because everybody is born Shudra and Shudra is electing a Shudra to be his king, and he is that Shudra who became king. As soon as he got the power, he started looting all other Shudras. Immediately other Shudras become dissatisfied. Then he bring him down and they appoint another Shudra to be their king. So this foolishness is going on in the Kali Yuga in the name of democracy. So this is not the way. Actually, the king or the government should understand that the yajna should be performed according to the age. We are in the Kali Yuga, and the Kali is occupying everybody's life and every property of this material existence. We have to eradicate Kali by the yajna, because in this particular verse, Parishit Maharaj is very clearly warning that you do not deserve to remain in a place. What is that place? Where experts perform sacrifices. So the sacrifice in this age of Yajantihi Sumedasha. The experts, Yajantihi means experts, intelligent people. So Sumedasha. Sumedasha means intelligent. So Yajantihi Sumedasha. In this particular Kali Yuga, people will perform, the intelligent people, the expert people will perform the sacrifice by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi, Krishna says also. So that particular, wherever this chanting of Hare Krishna as a sacrifice is being performed, there Kali do not deserve to remain in that place. So this is the only way. That is why it is said, Harirnama, 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 Iva Kevalam, Kale Nasteva, 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 Gadiranyata. There is no other way, no other way, no other way to destroy the Kali other than chanting the holy name of the Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is the verdict of the, Shastra, 3 times repeated in the Shastra. Why 3 times repeated? Because people are trying to do through karma kanda, through jnana, through ashtanga or hatha yoga system to achieve perfection. But there is no other way, no other way, no other way. 3 times repeated means through karma you cannot achieve, you cannot eradicate even Kali. What to speak of achieving perfection here? This is a preliminary stage, eradicating Kali. And you cannot do by jnana eradicating Kali. And you cannot do by Ashtanga Yoga eradicating Kali. It's not possible. And if you are not eradicating Kali, you cannot perform any kind of, devotional service or anything spiritual, because Kali creates sinful platform. So when you are in Kali, you will want any activity will be sinful activity only. This is the influence of Kali. So in order to eradicate the Kali, then only we can perform devotional service. So we start doing the sacrifice, and the sacrifice is chanting the holy name of the Lord in this age of Kali. Now, the beauty is you don't need to wait for a king or some rich person or some pious person to come and do some sacrifice so that we can be peaceful. In previous time, it was like that. Common people cannot do any sacrifice. Only kings can be kings can do the sacrifice, because lots and lots and lots of wealth is required. One country's wealth is not enough, so they go and conquer and get wealth from all other countries and then do the Ashwamedha Yajna, so many Dashashwamedha Yajna, so many different yajnas, Gomedha Yajna, Ashwamedha Yajna, so many different yajnas they do. But in this Kali Yuga, you don't need to wait for such a king, because they don't exist. You don't need to wait for a government who understands the sacrifices is meant for Supreme Personality of Godhead, which can bring in peace and prosperity in everybody's life on the surface of the earth. They won't exist. But the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, is so merciful that he personally came and delivered this particular Yajna Sutra to every citizen, not only every citizen, to every living entity. In Jharkhand, he has given this to even animals and snakes and birds and whom not. All the enmity have forgotten, and all the animals have been chanting and dancing in ecstasy with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jharkhand when he was on the way to Vrindavan. So these are all the historical evidence in this Kali Yuga that we have about the Kali Yuga avatar Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And they have given us, and they have empowered us, they have given mercy to us, so that you can chant Hare Krishna individually. You don't need to wait for somebody to perform yajna to save you. You can save yourself. That much empowered you are. And for that, you don't need to be rich, you don't need to be educated, you don't need to be from a very good pious family, you don't need to be of anything, but simply hear and chant. That's all. So this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is allowed to anybody and everybody in this Kali Yuga, directly chanting. You don't need to become sinless before you start chanting. That's the beauty of this. So It is very, very simple process, and it is the greatest of all the sacrifices ever performed by any great emperor in this world in the past history, starting from Satyuga to Kali Yuga repeatedly. But this particular Hare Krishna Mahamantra stands above all the sacrifices which you also can perform. Just see, without spending a single penny. This is the beauty and mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is not ordinary at all. Who can understand that? We are experiencing that bliss. He is directly giving you the bliss and love for God. And he sends such representative Senapatis who has the love for Gauranga, who knows and who are confidential associate of Lord Chaitanya, like our Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. And we have received this particular Hare Krishna Mahamantra from the bona fide souls. So the mantra will work, because the mantra, Japana mantrana, what is a Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. So Krishna himself is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And this is applicable to eradicate Kali at once without delay. That as soon as Kali appeared, immediately there appeared Parikshit Maharaj to eradicate him. Similarly, as soon as you invoke the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, the Kali is at once eradicated, and the Supreme Lord is with you. When Supreme Lord is with you, you are all pure, you are sinless. Continue chanting the holy name and glorifying Krishna. That's all you need to do, which is called devotional service. Ravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Offer your obeisances, and then you offer everything to him, and then you eat the prasadam, and then you do everything for Krishna. Yesterday also in the initiation ceremony, Srila Guru Maharaj said that you take oath on the day of initiation that from this moment onwards, throughout your life, everything you perform for the satisfaction of Krishna, everything you do for Krishna. So this is the oath we are taking on the day of, in fact, shelter, not even initiation, but then for shelter we are taking the oath to ourselves to test whether we can do it or not for 6 months. And when we can do, we go and take the oath in front of Lord Guru Maharaj, and whatever deities in whichever temple we are taking the initiation. And then from that moment on, we should do everything for Krishna, including the marriage, Garbhadana Samskara, everything. That is why we are, praying. Yesterday, Guru Maharaj said, Grastas pray for the Garbhadana Samskara to beget a healthy, long-living, intelligent devotee Suputra. Putra or Putri doesn't matter. They are all same, because when you are performing devotional service, when we are doing everything for Krishna, then there is no need to discriminate whether it is Putra or Putri. They are just devotees. So this instruction, this information was also given by Guru Maharaj yesterday. So we must understand the importance of the chanting of the holy name is the sacrifice that can be performed to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this age of Kali. And in this way, when you perform this sacrifice, not only Supreme Lord is satisfied, but also you have eradicated Kali from your life, though you can live in the Kali Yuga. It is like living as fish, but without touching the water. You are in the Kali Yuga, but Kali's influence will not be on you, because you are performing sacrifice, which is chanting the holy name of the Lord. You don't need to wait for some king or government to do the sacrifices. So this is the purport of this particular verse. And any ritualistic ceremonies or sacrifices, there are Agnihotra Yajna, Darsha Yajna, Purna Masha Yajna, Chaturmasha Yajna, Pashu Yajna, Soma Yajna, so many things are there, but they are all meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not for any kind of personal sense gratification. This is very, very important to understand. So, and then one will be deserved to enter into the kingdom of God. You can meet Lord Chaitanya, you can converse with him. That is very much possible. So, and if we are not deserving what the king does, King Vena was not deserved to sit on the throne. So what happened? The Brahmanas immediately curse him to death. So anybody who is not qualified, they can be eradicated if we have Brahmanas. But we don't have Brahmanas in the Kali Yuga. We have only Shudras in the Kali Yuga. And the Shudras only electing their own leader. That let this Shudra be my leader. And the Shudra who got the power will go and plunder you. And when you are plundering is intolerable, you bring him down and appoint another Shudra. This is democracy. So this kind of democracy will not save you, because the government people, the politicians, they don't even understand that what is God, what is a citizen, what is the relationship between the citizen and the Lord, how government can represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead and maintain the relationship with the citizen as if the relationship with God. This is not understood by them. And what to speak of then? They don't even know they are living in Kali Yuga. They don't even know the sacrifice in Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name of the Lord congregationally. Actually, the government is supposed to organize the congregational chanting everywhere, all over the world. That should be the main purpose of the government. In that case, whole world will be living happy, blissful, and prosperity. But that's not happening. And that is where Lord Krishna, he cannot tolerate the insult or what you can say, sufferings that imposed on the citizens by their own selectors. So Krishna has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is maintaining very strongly the Acharya Parampara, which is unlimitedly stronger than any mighty power existing on the earth. So that is where this Sankirtana Yajna is successful all over the world, whether the country is atheistic country or theistic country or Christian country or Muslim country, everywhere this Harinam should be chanted for their own safety, for their own benefit. This is not some new religion or caste that we are propagating here to eradicate other caste. No, Prabhupada clearly says that any religion should propagate the chanting of the holy name of the Lord in this particular age of Kali. Be you Muslim or Christian, doesn't matter. In every scripture, there are names of God. So in this Kali Yuga, they should chant the names of God to eradicate all the epidemic, all the, this Kali. Kali, of course, can be eradicated only by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And if Kali is eradicated, Kalir Doshe Nide Rajan Hastiri Eko Mahanguna, so if Kali is eradicated, Kali Dosha Nidhar, Kali is full of faults, full of epidemics. If Kali himself is eradicated, what is the question of epidemic and other faults or other doshas? Everything will be eradicated. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the supreme of all other mantras. Hare Krishna Mahamantra has the holy name, which is the supreme of all other holy names. Any other holy names or any other mantra will be subordinate to Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because those holy names and those mantras require rules and regulations to chant. But this Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be chanted by anybody, not only Brahmanas, anybody and everybody, anywhere and everywhere, anytime and all the time. So that is the beauty of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which means that 24/7, the sacrifice of chanting Hare Krishna should be going on. And who is powerful enough to establish in this Kali Yuga where the government don't even understand this? That is where the Acharya, empowered incarnations like Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, all over the world, he has established the chanting of this holy name in such a way that overall on the earth, 24 hours chanting is going on. Don't think only in Vrindavan 24 hours chanting is going on. Don't think in Mayapur only 24 hours, in Prabhupada Bhajan Koti 24 hours chanting is going on. Of course, that is also going on. Okay, but other than that, in many devotees' house also, Prabhupada chanting the small box they have put, and 24 hours the chanting is going on. Even that is not 24 hours chanting is going on. All over the earth, practically living people are chanting the holy name 24 hours. Just like now it is night in America, they will be sleeping, but we are chanting here. Somewhere Mangalarti is happening, and 4 minutes distance, every place the time is keep changing, and every place there is Mangalarti simultaneously going on, Darshanarti somewhere else is going on. Sayanarti somewhere else going on, Gaurarti somewhere else is going on, chanting of the Harinam is somewhere else is going on, Rath Yatra going on somewhere something is going on, Panyati is going on. In this way, the whole world, if you see from above, 24 hours, more than one place, Harinam will be chanting continuously without cessation. This is not possible even by the best of the governments, but one person, Srila Prabhupada, has done it. And Sri Jayapataka of Guru Maharaj has enhanced it to make it more than once in more than one place. This can happen. They have proved it. You see, this is called capacity. This is called empowerment. It is not ordinary. Otherwise, who wants to chant Hare Krishna? Who wanted to chant Hare Krishna? Nobody wanted to chant. But these acharyas are so empowered for our own benefit, they made it. We must understand the potency of Guru from this particular result and then completely surrender unto them and serve them, so that you are also part of the pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing through the acharyas. Then our life is perfect and successful. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please to share with me. 5, 4, 3.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु जी इसमें दिया है, यज्ञ का अर्थ है भगवान की श्रेष्ठता का स्वीकार करना और इसके लिए ऐसे कर्म करना जिनसे भगवान सभी प्रकार से संतुष्ट हो। तो श्रेष्ठता तो समझ में आती है कि भगवान की श्रेष्ठता का स्वीकार करना, माने गॉड इज ऑलमाइटी। तो इसके लिए ऐसे कर्म करना जिनसे भगवान सभी प्रकार से संतुष्ट हो। तो हम इस संसार में रहते हुए अपने परिवार के साथ घर में रहते हुए कौन सा कर्म करें जिनसे भगवान सभी प्रकार से संतुष्ट हो?
हाँ, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन प्रभु, वेरी वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। व्हाट इज दैट? इसको बोलते हैं माम अनुस्मरण। दैट इज द वर्डिक्ट यहाँ पर बताया गया। माम अनुस्मरण मतलब आप जो कुछ भी कर रहे हो मुझे याद में रखता हुआ करो। अभी जैसा अर्जुन ने वार किया था ना, लड़ाई किया था, किंतु अर्जुन ने कृष्ण को हमेशा अपने ध्यान में रखता हुआ उसने अपना पूरा स्किल को इस्तेमाल करके लड़ाई किया। इसलिए जिनको नहीं जीत पाता उन्हें भी जीत लिया, क्योंकि वो कृष्ण को ही जीत लिया था। इसलिए इसी तरह यही इंस्ट्रक्शंस यहां पर दिया गया है कि आप जो है कृष्ण को अपना सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉड मानने के बाद आप जो कुछ भी एक्ट कर रहे हो, जो कुछ भी कर्म कर रहे हो, उसको कृष्ण को मद्देनजर रखता हुए कृष्णा सेंटर्ड एक्टिविटी बोलते हैं। कृष्ण के लिए उस कार्य को करो। जैसा अर्जुन ने लड़ाई जो है पूरा देश को अपनाने के लिए नहीं किया, किंतु कृष्ण को अपनाने के लिए किया, कृष्ण को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए किया, क्योंकि उसे पता चल गया कि कृष्ण का डिजायर है। वो खुद तो लड़ाई करना नहीं चाहता था, किंतु कृष्ण लड़ाई चाहता था, इसलिए अर्जुन ने किया। इसी तरह हमारे जो गृहस्थ आश्रम के अंदर जब हम रहते हैं, हमारा बच्चों का देखभाल करना, उनका उचित समय पे सब कुछ खड़ा करके उनकी जीवन को फिर कृष्ण भावनामृत के माहौल में स्थापित करना, वो हमारा कर्तव्य ही नहीं है, वो हम कृष्ण भगवान के लिए भी करते हैं। वो केवल हमारा इसलिए नहीं कि हमारा बच्चे के ऊपर हमारे ऊपर अत्यंत स्नेह है इसलिए हम कर रहे हैं, नो, वो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन हो गया। लेकिन वही काम हम कर रहे हैं किंतु कृष्ण भगवान के लिए कर रहे हैं, कि ताकि कल जो है 4 बच्चे हमारे परिवार के अंदर से कृष्ण भावनामृत को फैलाने के लिए हम पर आएंगे और इस लोगों को बचाएंगे। तो ये कृष्ण के लिए हम जब करते हैं वही हरकत को वो बोलता है डिवोशनल सर्विस। और वही यहां बतलाया गया कि आपको जो भी कर्म है वो कृष्ण के लिए आप करो, वही करो, बंद करने का कोई आवश्यकता नहीं, लेकिन फॉर कृष्ण। तो वो क्या होता है, वो डिवोशनल सर्विस हो जाता है।
यस प्रभु। और नीचे है प्रभु एक और प्रश्न है, धर्म का मूल सिद्धांत सत्य है, तो प्रभु हम इस संसार में रहते हुए कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, जैसे कहा जाता है कि अगर किसी का जान बचाना हो तो वहां झूठ का सहारा लिया जा सकता है, किसी का शादी विवाह कराना हो तो वहां झूठ का सहारा लिया जा सकता है, या कुरुक्षेत्र के लड़ाई में भी वहां अश्वत्थामा करके, अब वो हाथी मरा या अश्वत्थामा मरा ये भी सुनने में आता है। तो यहाँ धर्म का मूल सिद्धांत है, तो इस तरह हम सत्य पर कैसे अडिग रह सकते हैं।
आप देखिए, आगे पढ़िए उसको। धर्म का मूल्य सिद्धांत है, और आगे क्या है?
धर्म का मूल सिद्धांत सत्य है, और
हाँ,
सभी धर्मों का चरम लक्ष्य भगवान को प्रसन्न करना है।
बस वहीं पर आपका जवाब है, वहीं पर आपका जवाब है। यदि ये सत्य है, उस भगवान को नहीं सेटिस्फाई करता है, तो वो सत्य को हम नहीं अपनाएंगे, बस। क्योंकि रिलीजन का मूल जो है वो भगवान को संतुष्ट करना है, ना कि सत्य को पालन करना है। लेकिन सत्य को फॉलो करने की वजह से भगवान को सेटिस्फाई करने का, संतुष्ट करने का अवसर हमको मिलता है। और उस समय सत्य को ध्यान मत रखो, भगवान को ध्यान रखो। भगवान क्या चाहता है वो करना है, चाहे वो सत्य हो असत्य, क्योंकि जो भगवान चाहता है वही सत्य है। जो हम समझते हैं वो सत्य नहीं है।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
बहुत अच्छा आपका जो आप भागवतम को आप अच्छी तरह पढ़ रहे हो। आपको जो है भगवान चैतन्य महाप्रभु का सारा ब्लेसिंग्स हो। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
So we'll resume our class on Monday 7:30. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam की जय।
जय
पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
Preeti Rupini, you have anything to say?
No, sir.
Okay. See, your father is very intelligent. He is very, very deeply he is studying. I like the way he studies the Bhagavatam. Thank you very much.
Okay.
वैष्णव प्रणाम। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। निताय गौर